My Dyna's back and you're gonna get in trouble. The Dyna's back.
This is the way.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chopperfett channel. That is right. The original OG bike of the channel, the Dyna, is back. It's been a while since you guys have probably seen it. And that's what we're going to talk about today is why she's been missing in action. She'll probably die on me here. That's okay. She's temperamental. Well, definitely mental. Ooh, glad I went to the post office this morning. Yay. Alright. It's been a while since I've been able to do that with this bike. Yeah, so the Dyna hasn't really been featured on the channel lately. Maybe that's my slow growth. I haven't been featuring the Dyna. No, I doubt it. But no, yeah, the bike hasn't really been running in over a month.
What'd you do?
Finally got that squared away. Now, I figured this afternoon I would talk about the year that was not the Dyna. This bike has cost more this year than it has in any other year. And I'm not talking like modification things. I'm talking just basic upkeep. And yeah, hasn't been pretty for Chopperfett's wallet this year. So the first thing that went wrong with the Dyna this year wasn't so much a thing wrong with it, but needed some new tires. Yeah, kind of knew that was coming. New tires. Everyone needs to get new tires. Happens. So, what do? We go to Harley and we get new tires. But while we're at Harley Davidson, they inform me that my brakes in the rear are faded, to say the least, and that I could also use a new front tire. And to kick it all off, I have a oil leak coming out of the front rocker. It's like, ooh, well, I didn't plan on spending that much today. Let's pick and choose some surfaces here. So I figured, let's go ahead, we'll do the rear tire, because that's what I actually came in for. I didn't think the front really needed it, and I'm still on the same front tire. I knew I could get at least this season out of it, especially with the reduced miles that I've been putting on. But got the new rear tire put on, which wasn't bad. I don't remember the price on that, but it was $240, $250 installed, maybe. So not terrible. And then we got the rear brake pads installed. I'm like, well, if they're already out doing that anyway, might as well just have them put those in, even though I have some sitting at home and I know it's a very easy job, especially now. I went ahead and just had them do it, and I was like, okay, that feels good. And I was like, well, let's go ahead and also address the bad thing, which is the front rocker. So I think that first visit to Harley ended up costing $750, $800, somewhere in that general ballpark.
I can't eat! I'm broke!
Yeah, you can kind of already see where this is going. So yep, so that was $800. So, whew, man, thinking to myself, well, it should be good for the rest of the year. I'll get that new front tire next year. It won't be so bad. It won't be so bad. Well then,
hello, Ms. Lady.
hey, then I rode a little bit here, a little bit there. I think I put only about 700 miles on the bike this year, which for me that's not a lot, but it has been spread out over the other two motorcycles. I think all said and done, when I tallied it up, I'm about 3,000 miles. Not bad for a father of two with no free time, I guess you could say. So we hadn't put that many miles on it, and then the other day, last month, Dad and I went on the longest ride of my year for me, which was about 160, 170 miles.
I'm a man who discovered the wheel and built the Eiffel Tower out of metal and brawn.
We were trying to see if, I'm ready for a trip that I want to go on down to my hometown. And trip went good. I got a little tired towards the end, but again, I'm used to 40, 50 miles a day, not 170, so I went 3 times longer than I was used to going. But then I parked the bike. I pretty much kept it parked for a little bit, just due to other things going on. And then I went to take it for a ride a couple weeks later, and it was weird. It felt like the rear brake was really grabbing. So, rear brake was grabbing, and I assessed it, and I was like, well, let's looky here, and that rear brake caliper was so loose I could shake it with my hand. Like, well, that's probably not how that's supposed to be. So I got out my trusty Torx bolt socket set thing, I guess you could say, and I proceeded to tighten said bolts. Well, they were turning, and then it snapped. So I didn't get to a point where it was like stopped and then it snapped. As I was turning, the bolt literally sheared off on the inside. Luckily, it was free, and the threads were just on the bracket itself and not on the caliper. So I was able to still get it off and inspect the caliper. And I could definitely tell they had mounted it incorrectly, because when I installed it with just the one caliper bolt, it was already much tighter. But needless to say, I did not feel 100% certain I should ride the bike, given the fact that the rear brakes were a little sketch. So, Dad and I tried to get the bolt out so we could just go to Harley, get a new caliper pin, and call it a day. Didn't happen. So, yeah, we'll go up to Harley and just drop it off and let them deal with it, and extract the bolt and install a new one. Probably be $150, whatever. Well, my dad was following me, and we no more got outside of my driveway, and he starts honking his horn at me like, what? Whoa, that's a lot of birds. Holy moly. Ah! So many birds! So many birds! Ah! Don't poop on me! Ah, so many birds! Anyway. Wow, that's a lot of birds. So anyway, Dad honking, and he's like, dude, your rear tire, what's wrong with it? I'm like, and yeah, I should have checked the air pressure before, but it was way flat. And so it's as flat as if you think you might have a air leak or a screw in your tire. That's how low it was. So I'm like, crap. Here we go again. Well, needless to say, I have put air in the tire, and I had checked it every day that the bike has been without this caliper bracket, and it has held air. And when I finally got the caliper bracket in yesterday,
overnight parts from Japan,
and I checked it again, it still held air. And then I checked it again this morning before I set out, and yeah, still has air. But the caliper installed, instead of going back to Harley because they would probably install the caliper wrong again, I decided I would go just to a local independent. And I met this guy, I don't even know his name, but I appreciate him because, you know, I basically called him that day and I said, I got this in. When can we get it done? He's like, just bring it up. We can work it in real quick. I know Dyna's pretty well. I'm like, sweet. So that's kind of what we did. And the 360 is not holding its own today. That's a little problematic for editing. So I took it up to him after work. Took him about 45 minutes, charged me half-hour labor. I tipped him an extra 30 bucks, making it even 100, because I really appreciated him getting that taken care of today. I'm actually going to pull over here and adjust the 360 camera. I don't like it when it's facing out like that, as you can see. It's susceptible to bugs and rock chips, and those lenses are almost irreplaceable. So we're going to remount it at the angle I like and go from there. Alright, let's see if Breck can U-turn. Well, it's been a while, but we got it. Alright. Oh yeah, that's gonna be real fun to edit. So anyway, he was able to get it situated, completed for me. Tipped him, said thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And today is the first day that I've been back out on the bike, and whew, boy, guys, I missed this motorcycle so much. A couple of videos ago, I'm sure they've came out by now, I mentioned, you know, selling a bike or two, like either this or the Vrod or something along those lines. And
needed someone
Wait,
to
shut your
work
mouth. Shut your mouth.
I'm sorry, what did
You're
you
just
say?
coming off stupid.
I'm
And man, now that I'm out here riding, dead red law, running it. Now that I'm out here riding again with this, it'd be very, very hard to get rid of it. So that's the story of where the Dyna's at. Again, nothing too exciting. It's just Harley back order has been terrible. About that part that I needed, instead of getting a person to undo the stripped out, sheared off bolt that was inside, the local independent guy said it'd be easier and cheaper if you just go buy a new bracket. So I'm like, okay. Well, then Harley kept delaying it. So I found one on Fleabay, and lo and behold, got here within a couple days. So hey, eBay ain't all that bad. With that being said, though, I will catch you guys on the next dark side, as this is the way. Chopperfett will see you on the next one. Later, guys.